And we're back here at the 2018 National Grand Slam Grand Finals. I've lost my right-hand man, David Gonzalez, but added advanced champion of the day, Ezra Danowitz. Ezra, quick, how did they go for you?
It was fun. Played with Carter Clem out of Seattle. We won all of the games, but I had a few close ones. I was super impressed with some of the players out in the advanced field.
Advanced was stacked. It was a fun field to be in. And you guys have a treat because I think Ezra might be one of the smartest spike ball minds of our generation. So, Ezra, what are you saying going into you have not watched most of this game play out, but what are you thinking about this matchup in general?
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't seen much of anyone play today.
You've been too busy winning.
Yeah, playing a lot of games, but I think things to look for is going to be serves and serve returns. Comes down to it pretty much at all levels of the game at this point.
Fun facts about game one, PJ, over probably around 40, 30 serves, 0 aces.
Really?
See him actually talked to me last night about it and showed it to end game one against these guys. A gentleman serve is actually doing the job. His old over-the-top topspin serve is giving people trouble because they have not been used to it. They're seeing these huge wide angles and kind of change it up. It's just like the change up from a baseball pitcher. So that's something I need to look out for is will PJ go back to the bag of gentleman surfing? Dylan and PJ were not getting any ace breaks on Jarrett and PJ, or sorry, Darrett and Preston. The big thing is when Preston keep having these mental mistakes, because those are the big things where big differences. Preston has these uncharacteristic just hits on two right into the team, so that was a big difference I've saw in every game so far, from a win for Wabi Sabi and a loss.
So when they met in winners finals, did it go 2 or 3?
Went 3 games.
Okay.
Went 3 games, and game 3 kind of got out of hand with the gentleman serving, but it was a very highly contested game where I think Preston and Jarrett believe with Dylan that they can beat this team.
Ooh, that's
but again, a weird 2 that's unnecessary and not needed. Jarrett has proved time and time again he is a good enough hitter to finish these points off. He is one of the smartest players in spike ball. Let him show that. Don't try to take it all on yourself because you are seeing these breaks given up because of stupidity, honestly.
And do you think it's Preston not trusting Jarrett, or do you think it's just Preston
I think it's Preston being Preston.
I
think it's Preston being Preston.
Being a little bit too bodacious.
You take the good with the bad with Preston. I think is the big knock on him.
Yeah.
Where like in Nationals, it's working out, hitting on 2 every time. But I think it's a tough game. But we're at 2-2 right now. Wabi serving, no breaks. And it's 3-2. Miss serve. We have is it 2-2? Oh, 2-2. Sorry, scoreboard is wrong. We have 2-2. Oh.
Ooh,
and that is PJ's first great serve onto the right that has given Wabi trouble. 3-2. And Dylan came up to me later during the last game and talked about Preston a lot of times carrying his sets, especially with his left hand and on those short rights. So you might see right now you see Dylan talking about what that is and if it's a carry or not.
I think there's a lot more carrying than people realize.
A lot more carrying.
Jarrett, I've seen him carry. In the last match, I think there were a bunch where Kenny was carrying it. Even some where Dylan, when he goes overhand, starts to push it, and I think it gets stuck in his hand a little bit. Interesting to bring that into the game at this point, but I'm all for it, honestly. Another hit on 2 from Preston.
Another hit on 2.
That one looked better, but still, kind of, why is it necessary? Just
why is it necessary?
Jarrett, let him put it away.
It's not like he's playing with me, guys. Like, if he's playing with me, go for it. You have Jarrett Rouse, one of the smartest hitters around. Even with his bum right shoulder, he has proven he can finish against any player.
Yeah. So Dylan already making a lot more set serves rather than seen him making some other tournaments. Playing with a player like Peter John, kind of just put him on. Give yourself a chance to win the points. You don't need to be the fireball server. You've got that in Peter John. Just play.
For sure. And the thing about Dylan is, at his peak in 2016, you saw him working the in and out with the Fuego and with the hard right, getting crazy angles on both. You've seen him just mostly only go right forehand with the occasional drop. So if I'm Dylan, just put as many on. It's not the same fear facing Dylan's serve as it used to be with his shoulder problems, but let Peter John be Peter John. I think is the main thing for Dylan.
I think he said, the shoulder problems there. The Fuego definitely not here this year for him, and I don't think it's going to be here.
Yeah.
So just put it on. Give yourself a chance to make those plays.
So easy.
Such a good hit.
And Peter John's such a great hitter, but I still think you have to do whatever you can to make him not hit his righty pull. make him force to do other things. He proves he can, but you still need to make him feel uncomfortable, and that's when you feel that you're most comfortable when that is wide open.
But how do you do that? Do you like the body defense, or just like getting in that spot and sitting on it?
I think body defense, is almost a must against Peter John to some capacity with how great he is of a finisher. I think what it comes down to way more, though, is making a very tough serve return. Oh, great serve there by Preston. Great set. That is a very hard set over your shoulder, and no one talks a lot about how great of a setter Peter John and Tyler Chiswick are. Everyone sees the serves, sees the big hits, but their setting is also...
The sets are what enable those big hits,
Exactly.
Yeah.
They give them so many options. So we got 7-6.
Yeah. Peter John wearing a tank top that looks a little bit too big for him.
Definitely looks a little big.
Yeah.
And one interesting thing that I don't see happening last game, you saw PL going a lot to the observers on serve return, saying, I think that was pocket, I think that was rim, and lost points because of that. I don't see that happening there. You saw that Jarrett called it on a pocket where even if he's wrong, there was nothing heard about it. I don't think you're going to see that this game, but something where there's a huge meta, I think, of when to go to observers and how to go to them as well. That is an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah. Ooh. Right there, offset, Preston in front of it, but not a good enough touch.
Yep.
That's a missed opportunity for Wabi Sabi, and they know it. If you get Peter John off the net, yeah, he hits hard, but you know where he's going, and you got to be able to make that play.
And that's, I think, the big thing to answer how to defend Peter John is making it where the hit on three is as uncomfortable as possible. Making that serve hard change. I think that's a big way to solve, quote unquote, how to defend Peter John is making him off the net. Because if he's on the net, he has every option possible. Where if you're not playing body defense, not enough of a net to cover just from deep. Adol, you see Preston
playing up the crowd, asking what serve he should
asking what serve to do, and fascinating for match point last game. Ask Stan, what should I do? He says serve out right, and he goes with the drop. So I'm wondering how much of that meta is going to keep going. Preston asking Stan.
It looked like rim.
It did look like rim.
Played through it. It sounded like it too, but
yep. So you'll see if Preston keeps asking for what serve to do and changing it up. That's kind of an interesting thing to think about.
There's definitely some notion to not letting your opponent know what you're doing, and so if you don't know what you're doing, it's hard for them to know.
Yep.
Some question on whether or not the call
not
was made.
Not quite
there.
sure what's happening, but we have 9-9.
9-9.
9.
Rim.
10-9.
The flango for Jai, you've seen him do it a few times. It's a good change of pace serve, but it's not doing much. I'd rather see him rip that lefty. The lefty cuts a little bit, and also it doesn't take as long to load.
Yep. I also liked. I've yet to see him do it in 4 games. The righty backhand. I've liked it a lot when I saw him doing it at Nationals, especially. He's kind of gone away from it, so I'm not sure if that's because of
good drop.
Great drop.
Dylan's there in time. Oh.
Incredible.
Body
Preston
in the way, and they'll redo
Preston
it.
pumped about the redo.
Gets that one up.
Well, that's something Dylan is great at. Dylan is great getting those drops. Dylan is very observant. He can see when someone changes their pace, or I think a little quicker than most people.
The way he opens up for that push shot and keeps it so low is what made him such a great hitter back in 2016. And when he do it now, it's still great to watch him make that hit.
Yep, he's watching the defender and going exactly where the defender is not. Ooh,
awkward
that's a chance.
A little bit light, but Jarrett just gets him across and pushes it away.
Got 11-11. Scoreboard is wrong if you're looking at that. At least from, actually, I think our scoreboard's right. The scoreboard in the field's wrong. 11-11.
Oh,
that's a chance. You need.
Yeah, Preston back on his heels, not able to make a play there. You saw him just sitting still. Probably thought Peter John was going through the legs or something.
Yeah, and that's a lot of time. Peter John can get away with that. You see him a lot of times, no one knowing what to do on defense. People feel at loss playing defense against him. Where when he does miss it, it's almost because it never happens. It's fine. He gets away with it more than most people would.
Well, so that's one of the things going from like advanced to premier is when you have to start really respecting the hits at a different level. And what I mean by that is not like respecting them as a player, but getting in front of those hits quicker versus trying to run them down or play back on them.
There's
the person there was respecting the hit a lot, which means that when PJ mishits it, he's not able to make that last second adjustment and get in front of what is an easy otherwise ball to dig.
Yep. There's a lot more anticipation here at the premier level than where in advance. I think you are letting the ball play out a lot more. 13-13. Again, PJ.
A lot of missed serves.
His service is not what we are used to. Hey, and also, though, I think Wabi Sabi might be the best returning team outside of. I mean, you can argue maybe the best returning team in in spike ball.
Yeah, that set from Dylan there just looked like a lot of finger action.
A lot of finger action. But we're not big finger action guys.
No, I hate it.
What? I think so right now, though, I think a lot of pressure being established by Wabi Sabi, specifically on Preston serves. A lot of tough 1-2-3s that are getting the points, but I think Preston really, you've seen a lot more, even there, right there.
Ooh, well, the difference here is Wabi Sabi's even, I mean, down the mini break, but Dylan and PJ are not putting on serves. Once they put on serves, it's going to be tough for Wabi Sabi to keep in it. And like there again, you saw respecting Peter John's hit when it lips up, not able to make that last second adjustment and get to it. Another miss serve for Peter John, so 15-15.
And again, it's 15-15. And this is my only gripe I've ever had, Peter John. In tight situations, his serve percentage drops a lot. When it's comfortable, you see him kind of relax. His serves are getting on more. In games like this, when it's 15-15, you need a big serve. He can get that on, but the percentage is significantly lower.
The headset there from Dylan.
And that's the thing. I think a lot with Wabi Sabi. Wabi Sabi, I don't necessarily can win many games against Dylan and PJ. I think they will beat themselves way more. And Wabi Sabi now needs to realize we are now up the mini break. We need one thing. We need that one serve. We need that one-handed guy to get us going to get that game, because you need to take advantage of these situations that won't come often.
And the other thing is just logistically, for Wabi Sabi to win this tournament, they need to win this 2 out of 3 series and then repeat that, do it again. So getting this game 1 win is crucial, because you don't want to go down and then have to win 4 of your next 5 games.
Exactly, and that's where losing in the winners bracket is huge, because in these double eliminations, the best teams typically are winning because there's less variance. There's more spike ball being played. The best will be shown more often. So these games of 21 are really good for Peter John and Dylan to be in, because even if they're upset here, almost a great fanatic, almost a great jam serve there by Dylan, kind of switching it up.
But still, a lot of misses out of Pie and the Horse.
Yep, a lot. 17-16.
Just put it on, give yourself a chance to play.
Yep.
Ooh. Call him pocket. Oh, didn't call the score.
Did not call the score. It's something you have to do, and we'll be taking advantage of here at the top levels. Against your friends, pull it too, because you can.
Yeah.
17-16, second serve.
Ooh, good one.
Great.
John's in front of
and
it.
that's a footfall. It's these big bonehead things we're seeing from Preston time and time again.
Yep.
There are these unexcusable things that he's doing.
Ooh,
and that
that's
happens.
The cut, yeah.
And that's the cut that we have got to know from Peter John, and that is what you can't do. When they botch a set, you can't just give them a free point from not calling the score and just stepping over the line.
I mean, so that serve from Peter John, the last one on Preston, you see one is going side to side. That action's huge, probably a foot or two from where it would go if it just went straight. The other thing is it doesn't come up at all.
Yep,
so
not at all.
Whereas you might want to just stick a hand out to the side, it stays low and you have to get your hand under it somehow.
And the big thing that
Super
Peter
tough.
John, over the last year and a half especially, when he started doing these crazy wide serves, they have a lot of pace on them. Before, there was just these crazy angles.
Ooh.
Oh, almost a great touch there right down. But you saw, like, he would have these crazy angles, but you can almost get to them because of speed.
You play him at 6 feet, you step out and don't let him
exactly. And now it's too quick where you need to be at 7 feet. But yeah, we have 9-9
here. Drop serve.
Great
That's
drop.
a good one.
Need that. But again,
notice Dylan was back.
The feet was on the back. Yep. And you saw, I think that comes from Preston early, you see in these games, is doing a lot of jam serves right hard at you. And later in games,
good great serve. Dylan just getting it up.
Great up.
Here we go. I thought that was good.
It looked
Peter
really
John's
good from
got
here.
his hand down.
It looked very good.
It
looked very good from here.
Dylan
we will see. It's going to the observers. Observers are having to make a lot of calls.
It looked like he hit it just horizontal, just the minimum amount that he needed. I think this should be good, and a bad call would be a bold.
A no call.
They call redo. Wow. No clear view for the observers. They send it back, and that'll be a redo. Tough.
Oh, man.
They're calling rim.
They're calling rim.
They're calling rim there. Wow, what a break.
And hey, I predict a PJ big serve's coming right here. These are when PJ step.
Take advantage.
Nope, had a rim there. Call my shot.
Hey,
was not right.
You can't win them all.
Cannot win them all. But hey, shoot or shoot.
So here we go. Still with the advantage. Wabi Sabi 21-20. Still looking to close out game 1 after what looked like they had it.
And that's going to be really hard for Wabi Sabi to come back from. It feels like the game just got taken from them.
Yeah, that emotionally, that's tough. They got to stay clean here these next 2 and get another chance. I thought that was a clear pocket, but
yeah, I thought it was a pretty clear
pocket. They'll go to
pocket.
observers.
Yeah, we got a pretty good angle on it. It looked pockety.
Still a lot of chatter from the crowd about that point from Jared and Preston. Yeah, pocket. That's the right call.
Yeah, great call.
Can't win them all, Pie and the Horse. there we go. Second serve, 21s. Big step.
Good serve.
Easy set. Pushes it. Oh, just past Dylan. Dylan thought he had it.
Yep. Dylan was in a great position there.
A little bit flat-footed. He rotated soon and sitting there and not able to make that last second adjustment.
And that's the difference between anticipation and trying to read the ball, where anticipation maybe he can get there and what you maybe need to do.
Goes for the drop. Peter John easily there. It's interesting there. You saw Peter John maybe at 5.5 feet before Preston even hit it. He was anticipating the drop and knowing if Preston doesn't drop, I think I can get in front of it anyway. Maybe Preston's got to rip that.
PJ has a lot of confidence in his serve return, and rightfully so.
Ooh, good serve, but great up. Great pull from Preston.
Great pull.
Clean high.
Man, this is an interesting dynamic. I wonder if I'm Jared or Preston, it is hard to keep going in this game because it feels like it was taken away from me.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the rim call surprised me more than just a replay call. Because I'm not sure anyone could have a clear view of that being rim because I was pretty sure it was a clean hit. Great.
If anything, I would think it's a double more than a rim, and it was not even close to being a double. From my view, that's just, I hate to see it. I hate to see a great play.
He got almost nothing on it, just went full horizontal. Good return, good set. Oh, Jared doing that thing he does. They're making the easy look weird, but it'll work, and they'll take the
Again,
point.
it shows if I'm Preston, don't hit on two. These are situations where Preston will try to do too much and potentially
rim.
Yeah, exactly.
Just trying to cut that
and let's give a shout out.
it.
Harding Brumby is in the mix. He's back. He's at Nashville.
Headphones still on his neck.
Headphones still on his neck from the airport.
Yeah.
But 24-24.
Good up. Got to make the set. Push it easy. Dylan just slow, and he knows it, yelling at himself.
Smart, and that's a smart hit, and that's a very smart hit from Preston, not just rocketing a righty that I think Dylan potentially could have gotten to, even though it's a harder defend.
Yeah.
I think
he had 90 degrees to work with. Just put it there, keep it low. Don't worry about it. If you hit that hard, maybe lips up. Give him a chance.
Different serve we've seen. The fake righty back to the left. Jarrett has not shown a lot of that.
Preston's still working the crowd, maybe working the observers, you could say. But Jarrett puts that one on, not much pace. Dylan with the backhand. Right into Jarrett's chest, but it goes down on the other side of the net. Not a chance for Preston to make a play. So you see, they're getting touches, especially on Dylan. The problem is that once Dylan and PJ start making serves, it's going to be hard for Wabi Sabi to keep up. Oh, toss fault there, so they'll go second serve. Preston probably a little bit more than he needed to.
Second serve. Good serve, good serve, good serve.
Good set. Just out of reach for Dylan. That's the fourth or fifth we've seen from him in the last 15 points.
Dylan's tracking, and you're seeing these points getting harder and harder for Wabi and easier for PJ and Dylan. So I think it feels like a break. It feels like a break is just right around the corner. So let's hopefully Preston can get a big serve
Jared
here.
feeling himself now too, a little bit dancing.
Okay.
That's unusual for Wabi Sabi.
One of my favorite moments of game against. Yeah, here comes and the jersey's coming off. Well, Jarrett's come off. Last game we saw an immediate Preston taking his shirt off and Jarrett responding, and it was the highlight of the match.
Pocket there. So double fault, then just
he's thinking about it. Look, he's thinking about it.
Halfway off. 26-26. Peter John going back to this flat-footed stance. Got both feet even. Stepping out, drop serve. Just enough. Jared hits it into his chest. That double will be the point for Peter John and Dylan. So now they have the advantage, looking to close out game one. And going back to that cut serve stance. See if you can rip one here to close it. Pockets up. So yeah, you see change in the serve, and that's what does it for him. Just a little bit out of rhythm.
And notice how he saves a drop shot. He's not doing that every 5 serves. So when it does come out, you're not expecting it, you're not thinking about it. And that's why I love utilizing a drop later in series than early.
And what I love about that drop is it's very similar to the drop he was hitting 2 years ago. With that same flat stance, a little bit of the head fake. And it's just something that he knows he can go back to when he wants to. Oh, great serve from Jarrett. But a great set from Dylan. Wow. That bailout set there, just enough for PJ to work the net and get it past Jarrett.
And that's what I talked about with these Wabi Sabi needing Dylan and PJ to lose the game. I think on sets like those, they just need Dylan to be able to mess up a serve if they want it to be their day today. Because I think in general, when those are going their way, they're just going to lose the game.
Yeah, exactly. If they're making plays, it's very hard to beat.
Very difficult to beat.
So here we go. Serving to Dylan. It's probably the better chance with Preston being the stronger server and Dylan being the weaker returner. But you're running out of chances here. Got to get one.
See what he goes for. Preston's thinking a lot about this.
This is a 10-second shot clock. I feel like
good
sometimes he's aware of it.
By Dylan.
Oh, bad set.
Great point. Great point.
Yeah, so the bad set from PJ, putting Dylan off net, and Jarrett gets the body up.
And you see another body by Jarrett. Jarrett, I think, is right now playing a very smart, good, consistent game.
Yeah, the other thing there is if you're going to miss off net, just miss anywhere else. The defense was already flat-footed on that side of the net. You make Dylan hit right into them. A quick set from Preston is just enough for Jarrett to power through that lefty. So now, game point back in the hands of Wabi Sabi.
I could see Preston going for a drop here.
Great call. Not a great drop. Easy pull for Peter John.
I think a key thing on Preston is in these big momentum things, he'll want to ride it by getting a drop, knowing he can get even more momentum going there. I think is a tell on him watching him in these last couple of games.
Great serve, but
great serve. Oh, and that is
ripping the back. You don't see that backhand hit from Preston a lot.
Don't see that backhand hit a lot, and there are not many players who can just easily get a win like Preston can on that hit. He has so much power where it feels.
Oh, good serve. Call him pocket. It looked like it was a little bit on the side of the net. No argument from Wabi Sabi, so they'll go second.
And look for Jarrett just to put one on here. He's a big proponent of I want to play defense.
Yeah. Goes for the knee serve, but still pockets that up. Maybe even rim. Doesn't matter.
30-30. Great start to this grand final, though, Ezra.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one, but hey, all I can ask for is more made serves.
Yep.
Not like that,
that's where they play.
Okay. Oh, tough set from Preston.
Very tough set. You see
Jared's able to push it just past the defense.
You see a lot of time on those weird pockets, the indecision of playing it, and then oftentimes the second set with how much spin is coming off the ball is a very difficult touch.
Yep.
You see a lot of mistakes even on these quote-unquote easy balls. I think it really depends on the person. I think with PJ serving,
play it.
I think with PJ serving, you're going to want to play this a lot, but with having no real troubles with Dylan's serve throughout the series, I think you just let it go. Likewise, I think in Preston serving, you play those pockets, but with Jarrett.
Some question here about what score Preston called. You hate to see this becoming a factor in the game, but rules are rules, and you got to make sure everyone's on the same page, ready to play the point.
I think pocket is very dependent on if you should play or not, person to person. PJ going with the flango.
Play it. Lefty body up. Ooh, the dive from Peter John. Just Dylan again in the right spot, not able to get a good touch. That's the difference in this game. There's been 5 or 6 of those.
And you saw that a lot with PL last game. Zach Wood is putting himself in great positions, but just getting very frustrated himself of not being able to execute, not being able to get that point, and it was kind of building on each other. Where it feels almost like Dylan for me is I can't even get it anymore because I've had so many opportunities. It builds on you. You want to keep being in those good positions, but it becomes a mental game as well.
Yeah. So here we go. Another big of this high step serves gets Jarrett, but great set from Dylan. Oh, a lefty drop.
Great play.
Wow. Preston really bailing out Jarrett there. And you saw the wind, you can't see it, but the wind died down just for that point. If the wind's in play, that's a much tougher set.
Much
maybe a
tougher
break
point.
for Dylan.
Great set from Jarrett. Great set from Preston, but also very smart hit from Jarrett. He was
recognizing it's open.
Yep, recognizing it's open.
So I think the question here is saying 3-2 good enough when the score is 33-32? I'd say yes.
I think it's fine. Let's play some spike ball. Yeah. Let's not talk about how we should properly say the score.
And
that's another
not a surprise there.
No surprise. You see this a lot from Preston when he gets frustrated. He then resorts to bad spike ball because he's frustrated. Preston needs to be the life of the party, needing to have this. And you see often these moments of frustration for Preston, immediate rim following or immediate bad decision following.
Yeah. So, but the missed serve returned by Peter John. So
34-33. See what Jared brings out here. He has so many different options.
No harm, no foul.
Going with the lefty.
Some cut, but Dylan's around it, gets on the right.
Ooh,
just hammers
great
that
hit.
He saw Preston crash a little bit too soon, gives him the pull. If anything, you want to force Dylan to force it between the two.
Yep, that push. Even though Dylan's great at it, you would much rather have him than the
Just give him that easy open pull. That high leg kick at a fault. So we'll go second serve. Look for that high leg kick again. Yep. Ooh, tough return. See if Preston can bail him out. Good set, but chokes on that lefty hit. Easy put away here.
And that's two from Jarrett, and that's back-to-back. You can't get bailed out twice there. So, mini back to Dylan and PJ.
Some question on whether that serve is pocket. Not that it's
matters
It's too late
anymore.
to call it, but Jarrett's just wondering. Dylan said he thought it was good. I thought it was pocket, but honestly, I can't see the ball hitting the net from here because Jarrett was blocking my view. Preston doesn't want to admit it, but he knows that was good.
Yep. That's
go to the observers. I don't know if he's calling pocket or rim, but from this view, it looked good. Yeah.
See, and he didn't say that right there.
Yeah,
he
30 points
ace
30 points
and immediately goes back to the point that they called against him.
I actually agree with him. I think they got robbed on that point.
But you can tell that was part of it. You can tell very much that was still in his mind in the forefront, and that
you can't have that.
Game.
You gotta be like a golfer, like a pitcher. You gotta be.
How?
You gotta be short.
Probably.
Short-term memory. So that's game 1 for Pie on the Horse, Peter John Showalter and Dylan Fogarty. Yep. They are looking to close it out in 2, and the way they played there, it's hard to imagine they won't. Just going to come down to making serves because they did not make nearly enough serves early in that game, and it left Wabi Sabi in the room. If they're able to make serves throughout, I think it puts enough pressure on. You see even there at the end, Jared having trouble with Dylan's serves.
Yep.
If you can do that, you're going to win these games.
It's kind of the fastball analogy pitcher who can't throw strikes. If he gets a lot of walks, is a.k.a. a lot of missed serves. But when the fastball does come in, it's way harder to hit because you're so used to it's being everywhere. It's wild. So you see these servers who miss 10 in a row, but when they get one on, the returner doesn't know what to do with it because it's so different, something they haven't seen.
And so actually that brings up something that I've been thinking about. So I think a lot of the maybe mid-level advanced, high intermediate. People who are coming into the game, playing a lot, watching a lot of film, maybe seeing the top players play, but not great yet, are going for these big serves where maybe they'll hit 10, 20% of them, but miss a lot. And when they make that serve, maybe it's an ace, but they're not playing defense, not getting reps at hitting, setting, other than just missing serves, the points are not fun to watch. And so it kind of ruins the game to some extent, watching players play like that. You hate to see it. I think it's almost a bad example for these top-level premier players to set where they're missing so many serves. And the key is to recognize, like, hey, I'm not playing high premier. It's not acceptable for me to have, like, that 10% ace serve. I have to make serves, give myself a chance to play defense.
Where against, and it's such a different circumstance. So when you see Preston, you're playing against PJ and Tyler, for example. You need those 10% serves to get on. Where against the average advanced team, average intermediate team, they will make mistakes. They will give you points, but you are not letting them even trying to win the game. It goes back to you are letting them off easy. You want to put the pressure on. You want to make them hit many, many winners, have way more potential misses on sets, serves, hits, everything.
And you can play defense on those hits.
Yes,
the difference here at this level, there's really like maybe 15 hitters in the game that are nearly indefensible over the net. Everyone else, you got to give yourself a chance to make the play, and the only way to do that is put the serve on to start that play.
I would love for you to go down the 15 hitters who are unguardable, but we don't have time for that.
We're about to go and I'm glad we don't have time for that.
That is a Bill said. Also, explain to me what this is.
They're trying to make me do push-ups. If I look at them with their goggles on without putting up a monocle, I have to do 5
Katie's coming
push-ups.
over to do it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to look at her.
Yeah,
I'm looking dead ahead.
You got 0-0. Great first serve from Jarrett.
Ooh, gets the up. Good set from Jarrett.
Oh,
just
great rally, great
rally.
Great set.
Oh, great play.
Wow, good rally.
Great play to start the game. Both teams making some nice ups and great ons.
Great rally there. Big for game 2. It is so hard, I think, to lose game 1 and then go immediately to having to serve, where they get the early break to lose the mini disadvantage. So they're back up 1-0.
Jared doing that free like swinging stance, trying to get to cut a little bit.
A lot of players are you seeing Dylan doing that a lot? You're seeing Jared do that.
It's one of those things where you just question why they're doing it.
I think because they saw Dan do it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you see Dan do it, and like unless you're really doing it to open up your body and really get more torque on it, you don't need to do it. You don't need to do it just to look like somebody else. Like Dylan's high leg kick here looks ridiculous. If it works for him, sure, but I don't see what it's given him really. It's just a lot of variation serve to serve.
I mean,
bad too from Preston there. Wow, straight down right into the rim. Just gotta trust your teammate.
Again, it is like Wabi Sabi is right there, going point for point with the best players in the world, and they've proven they are the best players in the world. But what leaves them from these wins are these done decisions.
And so the thing that's questionable for me is that Preston earlier said, "I'm being stupid. I'm being dumb. I'm hitting on 2 a lot." He knows he's doing it, but he keeps doing it. There's no reason for it.
Wake up, Preston!
Yeah, you hear a wake up from the crowd.
And what you see right now is Preston understanding the missed opportunity from that first rally that they had.
He's still thinking about it.
And he's still thinking about it. Yep. Preston, there's no one who can read more than Preston. He shows everything. He shows all of his cards. He is not a stone cold killer like Sean Boyer was back in the day. But like, you had no idea what Sean was thinking.
Jared right here. Jared shows a lot, but like he's not nearly as emotive as Preston.
Yep.
Interesting pocket call. I would have gone rim, but hey.
I would definitely have gone rim as well.
Do what works for you. And when I say do what works for you, I mean we should actually just call that rim.
Call
we
the
should
rim.
have rules, yeah.
Between the legs hit.
Weird set from Dylan. Again, just open fingers. It's getting on those fingers, and it looks like it sits on there a little bit longer than I like to see the ball hit. I think a clean set should be on the palm of your hand. The way, like, if you watch just, even there's a little bit of finger action.
Ooh.
But if you watch the way Peter, John, and Tyler set, it's always clean. Yeah.
Yes, they definitely should. I think that's one of the active calls you can't make.
Yeah.
4-4. Interesting that you see Preston going for a drop against Dylan. You saw it go for a lot of success earlier in the game on the back of his heels, but Dylan making a nice recovery and counter.
Yeah. Ooh, Peter John just
again, PJ, and you see it right there. PJ has another missed serve and immediately is laughing to himself. He goes, "How am I missing this many serves?
Yeah.
This is my thing. I'm maybe the best server to ever play in spike ball and round net, spike ball."
That's the same, but it's not.
It's the same, but it's not. It's like me saying LeBron's the best Spalding player of all time.
Yeah, ridiculous. You wouldn't say that. Anyway.
I do like Spalding, though. Great basketball.
If I'm buying basketballs, maybe it's a Spalding. Honestly, I haven't bought basketball in a long
Wilsons
time.
are good.
Ooh, Wilson. I have a Wilson basketball at home.
We've got 6-6 right now.
Baseball, I'm getting a Rawlings glove, though.
Oh,
anyway,
yep,
6-6. Back to this game. Ooh, I honestly couldn't see it.
I would have called a pocket, personally, not a rim, and that looks the call is going to be. So we have second serve.
That step out, just going right at him. Ooh, choking him, but Dylan gets a great up.
Ooh.
Oh, Preston falling out of the way of that one.
And the thing about it, he kind of, the thing I don't love about it, he is going away from Dylan's push shot. Dylan is not opening up there for a backhand
right, he's
or
not
a
opening
drop
up
there.
nearly enough that you need to
So
out for that.
Preston's a big guy. He lifts. He eats protein. He puts that in his milkshakes.
Yeah.
But you don't need to just go away from the ball and hope you get a hand. Use your body. See what happens.
Another fuego from Jared. I hate that serve for him. It doesn't make sense with the repertoire he has. Use your lefty. Use your backhand.
Keep the surge quick. Yep.
Get rid of that fuego. Take it out of your arsenal. You don't
add the right hand and backhand back. That was very effective at Nationals.
Even the lefty backhand was killer.
Yeah, and a lefty backhand.
Weird set there from Jared. You see again, he hits it kind of high and it just spends a little bit extra time on his hand. Tough to say what should be the line for a carry here.
We got it 8-all right now. Preston serving. Look for him to continue to try to jam Dylan. I think this is where they feel like they can get a lot of their break points.
Got a bit of a grumpy face on. Let's see if he can cheer up. Drop. Ooh, just right on the top of the rim.
And again,
he's upset with himself.
I think he's over-forcing the drop now. I think I gave him a lot of credit of waiting for it in the right moment.
To flat stance. Watch the flango.
Yep.
There it is. Ooh, great backhand out of Jared.
What's your thought about when PJ goes out open stance, assuming he's going to go fuego? Do you think he needs to add in way more of the forehands as well to that to keep you balanced?
I think when Peter John goes to that open stance, you rarely see him drop on the fuego, and you see him drop a lot on the forehand. So if I'm a betting man, once I see him step left, I'm going to
take a step in.
And once he steps right, I'm anticipating that drop. Ready
to
jump in for it.
Great point.
That drop on his righty side step used to be one of the best serves in the game. It's still a good drop, but 2016 it was deadly. Yep,
it was deadly. So I like that point a lot, Ezra, and that's something that I think it really is missing from the spike ball game from these top teams like a Point Loma, like a Wabi. I think you need to look more into it because I know that it's not a paid sport. It's not one of these all big sports, but I think even something like that where a player like you can take advantage of it aren't put in that situation often. I think you could be, but right now you're not. So
it's because I'm bad.
Well, yeah, that's as an advanced winner. But no, like these top players are here because they're some of the best athletes we have, but I think they really can do more in very simple things. I was always frustrated as a very slow, skinny white guy. If I would know the game better and the only reason I get playing time, that these best players on my teams would just not know what the score was, not know how many outs were in baseball.
Not know they were playing to 15, not 21.
Exactly. Like, how can you not know losers finals or games to 15?
Losers bracket is always 2 out of 3 to 15, Point Loma.
Yep.
Anyway.
Zach really is the next J.R. Smith.
More like a Donovan McNabb. The game was going to end and he thought there was more time. There you go, 11-10. Oh, going for that ready step out. There's a pocket with a play it. Weird set from Preston. Honestly, that set from Preston could have been a carry. Mike's making the motion on the sideline.
I think it's a bad set. I think it's a bad set because he wanted to go on 2 again. Preston has this urge to keep going on 2. Yeah. He does, and I think it affects his sets on those 2s where the big knock on Wabi is what we're seeing. Those on 2 when Preston is setting. Yeah. Or going unnecessarily 2s.
Lefty sets from Jarrett. Please don't step out and hit a righty. That's not been working. The slow step out, good serve, but great up from Peter John. Hits that backhand just past Preston's hand. Again, it's just tough to defend Peter John, and like they've been close on a lot of balls, but they're not getting the touches that they need.
Yep.
They've really only capitalized on a few times when Dylan set him off net. Not gonna be in play, yeah. Okay. A great up, but it goes away, and not really a chance for Dylan to make this.
That is one that'll be great for the highlight reel and nothing else.
Yeah, not even on it. It'll just be fun to laugh at.
Yeah. You can see that on ESPN one day, though.
Maybe.
Probably not.
I mean, yeah. So 12-12, still in it. Again, it's been just hanging around for both teams. Nobody wants to get that winning advantage.
It's been a very clean game. This game has been a lot cleaner than the last.
Still a lot of missed serves. You see Peter John going back to that flat stance because he knows he's been missing so much with his cut serves. And again, back to his flat stance and see what he does.
Again, and here's the thing about Peter John is he was talking to me of how much of a difference this gentleman's serve on is getting it on at a weird topspin is changing everything. And you see them get 4 points in a row of him doing this gentleman's serve, and he hasn't even thought about going back to it.
No, I mean, he switched from his primary serve, so like I don't know what else there is.
Yeah, exactly.
For him to consider.
So it's not working, and you have something that against this very team has shown to work. Why not go back to it?
Yeah.
Why not go to the wall? It's 1 point.
You got nothing to lose. This game's even. Just put it on, make him play. Give yourself a chance. Especially with him serving to Jarrett.
Big chance here.
Oh, ugly hip, but it might be enough. Dylan,
great
touch. Peter John setting him just near net.
Rim.
That was rim.
That's rim.
Oh. It was rim, but Dylan thinks it was good. Glass has fallen off, which brings up another point. Should Dylan just get contacts? He's playing a sport. Just get contact. Even rec specs would be fine.
I would love to see Dylan
that don't fall off. Like
I would love to see Dylan Fogarty in some rec specs. I don't know about you, but Dylan Fogarty in rec specs sign me up.
He's going to do the approach stat serve.
Ooh, weird.
Reminiscent of his 2015 serve even.
Again, and Preston has been having a lot of success in making these break opportunities on his serves. Why switch it up there?
I think if anyone's in Preston's head right now, it's Preston.
Yep. Preston's worst enemy has always been and always will be himself.
90% occupancy. Ooh, great serve.
There's a good serve.
Ooh.
Again, and it feels like Wabi's just hanging in there. It feels like any point now they're going to give up a break, but they're just getting these very difficult 1-2-3s.
They're down to 2 or 3 fingers just hanging onto that cliff edge. Another rim.
Oh.
Got to give yourself a chance here at these points.
Yep, 16-15.
A chance. Ooh, good serve from Dylan. Oh, great read from Peter John. And is Dylan going on 2?
And a great hit, and that is...
I don't think that's a hinder.
The ball was passed.
And then fell on Peter John.
17-15.
I don't think they're going to ask for it.
I hope they don't. They're
going to go to observers. This is a big call. Jarrett... So there's almost a case to be made. Jarrett's right next to Dylan. He feels in there. He doesn't... Peter John knows he's there. Doesn't want to fall on him. But he makes his lunge to try to get the ball and then falls on.
This is adorable. And the question is... Joel and Logan, I think, are both cognizant of also knowing they did a very drastic call to change game 1 in favor of...
You got to ignore that.
You got to ignore it, but I think that is a part of the human nature where, for me, you have to ignore it, but depending on the observer, you might want to give the other team that call to balance the game, which I don't think you can do, but I think it's very much a possibility in play here.
Yeah, I mean, they're out for a while now. I feel like they're going to call a redo. So they are calling.
They are calling a hinder. So this is, I would say, favorable.
If they don't have a clear decision, it goes back to a redo on the point anyway, which is the same as a hinder.
Same as a hinder. Yep.
So advantage Wabi Sabi going to the observer there, but they're saying Jarrett's position was altered by Peter John being there.
Yep.
Again, I think it's a reasonable call. I'm just in the moment. I didn't see it that way.
I think the ball was pretty clear passed, but it's okay. 16-16.
That's it. Yeah. I don't want to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Jarrett could have maybe taken another step if he didn't feel Peter John there.
For sure.
Anyway, got to make this serve if you're Preston.
Oh.
Ugly drop. Easy set. And just
ugly drop. I think he had the right idea, though. Dylan, again, was kind of on the back of his heels where I think a good drop gets him, but he goes for this weird medium drop that I'm not in love with.
It hits the middle of the net instead of the near net. If that hits near net, it dies, and maybe it's an ace.
That's fair.
But when it hits the middle of the net, it just stays up and easy to return for Dylan. So this could be the one. Oh, just off the rim. Good bid from Peter John.
And you've been looking at this. Have we seen the flat-footed righty from Peter John? We have, correct?
Little bit,
but still the odds are a lot of drops there. Yeah. A lot of drops. What you're talking about.
Wide step from Jarrett. That herky-jerky motion, I get how it can be effective. Against Peter John, I don't think it's worth it. Just rip your best
I think your
serve,
serve percentage will go way lower because of it. Great point.
You're not going to trick him that much. Good set. Ripping the lefty, just a foot behind that one.
And that's the most frustrating play in spike ball. You're running right next to the ball.
Yeah, you know you're almost there, but you never get any closer.
18-18, and the big factor, I think, difference in this game is Dylan's serving. We talk about PJ serving, but Dylan is putting the pressure on. A lot of these tough sets and tough balls and tough plays for them to score on have been on Dylan's serve.
Another just okay drop, and he rips it right through him. Easy, no pressure there. Jarrett was probably a little bit too far onto Dylan's right. Dylan's not going to open up that much of the last second.
And if he does, congrats.
Yeah.
I think if he does and he hits it, you say GG.
Pocket, they won't play it.
19-18.
Second serve.
Watch for a switch to the Fuengo Peter John's thinking of.
Oh, no, look at this.
No, he's going to the gentleman. He's going to the gentleman.
The topspin, rather. Yeah. Yep. He saw it right when he puts that left foot facing forward.
And that's in his head it is.
So it's 9-9 here. Again, even. Wabi Sabi looking to get that advantage before going into extras.
19-19.
Jarrett lining up for the righty serve. I don't know that I like that from him. He's just putting it on to try to play defense.
Ooh, good low hit there. That's so hard to defend.
Just not enough time to get in front of that ball. It looked like it could have been bad, but I think it was just weird contact off the hand.
2019, a lot of their breaks have been coming from Dylan, so let's see. Oh, and they're going to observers. This is interesting.
Just a late call. Honestly, it looked funky. I get it. I don't think they're going to get the call.
I don't either, and that's a kind of interesting thing of I don't think either thought it was bad. I think they heard Mike White and others talking about it, so they're like, might as well ask him and see.
The question is, did either Logan or Joel think it was bad? Joel motioning to explain how Peter John hit it. I think he thinks it was good, and they'll call it good.
2019 championship point.
Yeah,
championship point.
First try to win the tournament. Good serve. Good set. Ooh. Oh, rim there from Dylan. Great touch, though.
Great touch, though. Again, we're getting a lot of breaks from Dylan serving, a lot of chances. Dylan missing. We'll keep in mind of that. That's one chance they could have sealed this game. We have
just
2020.
Again, a number of touches or balls that Dylan has been close to. He's on top of these hits. It's his defense that has been the deciding factor for them in the series.
Very impressed with Dylan in this finals game. Very impressed.
Yeah, except for the fact that he can't see.
Except for the point he can't see. No, it's 2020.
2020, Preston on second serve.
My man.
Hits rim, and now it's 21-20.
21-20, second championship point. We'll see what PJ goes with.
Looks like he's in the cut serve foot stance.
21-20. Great move. Not a fan of this right now. Let them play.
Let the boys play.
Let the boy watch. That is a Will Ferrell reference. Love Will Ferrell. 21-20.
Top
championship
10 comedians
point.
after this point. Oh, just
again. But see what he did there? He's just going for a little easy, get the ball in the net, change the pace.
Instead, it's a lobster trap.
And it's a lobster trap. Love lobster traps.
Jarrett again in that righty stance.
Big lobster trap guy over here.
Some defense.
I said I'm really good at hitting lobster traps.
Oh no, going for that weird cut serve. I hate that serve out of Jarrett.
Jarrett serving at a net that was 12 feet away there. That was not the serve.
He should just back up.
22-21 championship points.
That's pocket.
And pocket.
Gonna take a touch? No.
No, you can't go for that there.
There we go. Calling the full score.
And that's the second pocket. We got 22-22. I wonder what we're going to see here from.
You need a break. You need a break now if you're Wabi Sabi.
Need a break.
You can't let this go on. You can't give Peter John that many chances to serve for the tournament. It's just a matter of time.
Preston has not gone wide on lost serves. He's been jamming or dropping. I think here he's been setting it up. Go for the wide serves.
Try to cut it.
Yep.
Force him outside. Nope. Again.
Nope. And he goes back to the jam.
Right
I don't love it. I don't love it.
His toss is a little bit low.
I wish I was a fraction of as good at spike ball or as an athlete as Preston. But I think the big thing is I'm not.
Small fraction.
It's very tiny.
Yeah.
Very tiny. But I really have not loved a lot of the decision making in this championship game.
Going for the cut serve. Ooh, a good one. But Jarrett gets a good hand. Ooh, that's set just
great hit by Jarrett. Great hit by Jarrett.
You see, having to really power through that ready hit. He doesn't love to do that, but he's still able to, and that was the time for it. Now let's see if Jarrett can put any pressure on with his serve. Lining up with that righty stance again. Nope. Well, we'll
and another great game. Another great game going into extras, point for point. It's these minuscule differences that are, I think, really going to hurt Wabi Sabi that they've not been able to take advantage of to be down the mini to this point.
Another Fuego. I still hate that. Peter John just ripping that just outside Jarrett. He's thinking, what can I do differently? He was just a little bit too inside, opened up that outside hit. And as a defender, you can't do that. You can't give him that free outside
And I think, so do you think that you should be playing even more up on the net, having your body be looking up for an off, or do you think you like the positioning of it?
I think, if you're Jarrett there, he's maybe at the right distance, but needs to be a little bit wider.
Yep.
And so he can come in a little bit more if he wants to, but it's not going to give him that much of an advantage.
24-24, I really want Preston to go for this wide out serve. I think it makes it way harder to return from Dylan. And he's just out.
Or not. Oh, great finesse play from Dylan there.
And
jammed on the serve, but a great set.
And that's great. And that's what you love seeing from a really great player like Dylan. He has not done that righty drop this series or last, and this in his arsenal, and goes to it in the most important point of the match. Great decision there by Dylan.
Great recognition. He had Jarrett behind him and pressing deep. That's wide open. No need to power through it. Just drop it in.
And that's the difference. In your pickup games, when there's no pressure, it's very easy to try those attempts. But I love seeing someone do something out of their bag of tricks in the most important positions because they know it's the right play.
Jarrett's going for that mega serve. Again, I think he's
better
off.
Rim, and that's a rim. That's a rim.
I think he's better off going for the lefty serve, but then he gets the break. So what do I know? I'm not in this match. So advantage Wabi Sabi. Again, I think they got to get it right now. The longer it takes to win this game, the worse their chances get.
More points are going to favor the favorites more often. Watch Dylan's pull there.
Oh, press in front of it, but not a good touch.
Read.
Rockets off his chest. He knows it, motioning for the thrust.
And you're seeing these teams really feel each other out and looking for those opportunities.
Don't be surprised for Dylan to break back right away. Never mind. I'm wrong.
27-26.
Yeah, advantage still with Wabi Sabi. Who is it? They had 6 match tournament points, couldn't capitalize, and so now Wabi Sabi's looking to take game 2. 7-3.
You saw PJ almost anticipating, like you were saying earlier, this Preston drop shot. He's standing almost right at the 6 feet mark.
There's been some references to the 10-second shot clock rule.
Oh, great serve. What's the call? Why is it bad?
Yeah, what was the call? I think it was a pocket. I didn't think it got rim.
I thought that was good.
I didn't think it was a pocket. I thought it was good. Yeah, that's the right call.
And it's good, and that's game 2 goes to Wabi Sabi.
Game 2 for Wabi Sabi. The lefty serve for Preston gets
and time again, but the best 2 words in Spikeball, Ezra, game 3.
Game 3. That's when the magic happens. Unless you're Chico Spikes, and that's when the magic happens to you.
That's when you kill people.
Yeah.
Or get killed.
Just that one time when the lights were out.
What a weird series so far, Ezra.
It's been a lot of missed serves, a lot of almost plays, a lot of weird hits where maybe they shouldn't got it. But, I mean, it's great round net. That's what it comes down to. Great players are making plays at the times they need to make plays. I think some things that we want to see more of, made serves maybe, just give us a give yourself a chance to win the point.
Give yourself a chance.
I think Peter John has to know that he's got to make more serves in this finale.
And here's the weird thing. I think game flow-wise, Wabi Sabi won game 1. Game flow-wise, I feel like Dylan and PJ won game 2. Yet, very opposite. But here's the thing. There's a comfortability factor.
But the observers take and the observers give.
Yep. So what we see right now is a lot more pressure, though, for Jared and Preston. A lot of momentum. But if they win this, there's a second series.
It's just a reset. Everyone's even to play one more series.
Yeah, it's as if the series didn't even happen.
Honestly, if anything, look for Dylan and Peter John to go up big early on some nice serves.
Yep.
That's what that's what they should be thinking. They should think, let's jump out to an early lead. Let's cement this win. Let's not leave it up to chance. They don't want to play another series. They probably don't even want to be playing this game.
Yep.
So the best way to really clinch this win, start strong early.
Yep.
Don't leave yourself vulnerable.
For sure. Hey, Zach.
Dylan's going to start serve.
Oh, and rock, paper, scissors goes Wabi Sabi's way. Sabi's way. Yeah. Big factor.
Honestly, it's interesting how much of a role rock, paper, scissors can play. When you're playing without a hard cap, not that big a deal, but it's still one fewer break they need on the game. Weird set out of Preston. I might have called play.
All right, here's a question I would propose to you. In bracket play games, what if higher seeds get to choose? They get rewarded for that.
I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I think one of the things we see time and time again is that pool play is undervalued. There's not that much that comes out of it, especially in a double elimination format. And especially when you look at how teams are perceived. It's just, oh, they had a bad draw that day. It's okay if they lost round of 8. Oh, they had a bad draw. Or, oh, they had a good draw. It doesn't matter if they got top 3. They didn't have to beat anyone.
Yeah.
So maybe you give some reward to winning.
Ooh, and there's that righty serve.
An awkward point, and you see just hanging on by a thread there. Some of those touches, questionable set from Jarrett, but just on the net.
Yep, oh, we got 2-1.
So again, you see Wabi Sabi winning them, but tough. They're going to have to look a lot better than that to stay in this game.
Yep.
So 2-2, missed serve from Preston. Interesting again that Dylan and Jarrett were the first service for the team, when I think consensus is that Peter John and Preston are the better service for each team.
Yep.
But easy push there from Jarrett. 3-2,
That's
they're holding. So here we go. Jarrett going back to that righty stance, looking for that.
Hopefully goes away from the flanker that we were talking about. He already did it once, and it led to nothing.
Stepping out, holding that foot.
Great serve. Push.
Wow.
That is blast off.
Just
different
the way
zip code.
He keeps his hand together and then flicks the whole wrist to get that one clean contact is perfect.
If you want to watch how to hit a forehand, watch Dylan. Watch on slow motion. It is beautiful.
That's how you get it through the defense.
Also, those muscles, pretty beautiful.
So there's the righty side step hard serve from Peter John. Gets it on, and that'll do. Preston just going to that backhand again, this time missing it. We mentioned we haven't seen a lot out of him. He usually opts for the left. That one's just a little bit far off net. He can't
drop
rotate
here. Hey, watch this Peter John drop. You see a lot of players. Oh, nope, he just goes for it. He's ripping it.
Ooh, that's a carry by Preston.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a weird way to set the ball. I don't like it. You got to have that open palm. Just let it bounce off your hand.
Yep. And one thing to look already, Peter John has found a serve he feels comfortable with. He's found comfortable with the open stance righty. You look at him go to that a lot. And not loving that from Wabi Sabi, that Peter John is back feeling a good serve. But that's the issue with going these long games when Peter John's not serving well. You give him more and more time to find that arm slot, find that angle. You want to win when you can.
Awkward hit from Dylan, and Preston's there. Takes advantage, gets the break. And so they have the lead again. And I mean, like you said, it's just the more Peter John is hitting, the better chance he's going to start hitting good serves. And that's how he wins games. You got to have his serve off to beat him. Drop serve there. Peter John's in front of it. They'll just rip that push. Jarrett looked like he wanted the bid, but he was 2 or 3 steps off. Not really in playmaking range. So, 5-5, Peter John back to that flat stance. Let's see which way he goes. Sidestep, hit hard.
See, and he goes going back.
After I made that comment about him dropping most of those, I think he's hit everything hard to his right.
No, he's had one drop. I think it's way more of that's a great critique of Peter John, but I think it's simply that he found a serve that works.
Yeah.
I think when you see Peter John at his best, almost all the serves working, you will almost never see him go to that righty step, but only for the drop.
You see Jarrett trying to run that ball down. He needs help from Preston to cut off that angle, get in front of that backhand. You've seen Dylan hit it. He doesn't pull that backhand where you might be it goes back towards himself, but he flicks it away from himself. And that's the angle you got to start to cover. Ooh, that cuts.
That was for sure. Well, it was for sure high, if anything. Correct.
I did not think it was high. That was out to the side. It might have been a roll up, and no disagreement from.
Whatever it was, I did not think it looked good.
No argument here. So here we go, 6-6. Ooh, that one's good though. Weird set again. I hate that set from Preston. He's not rewarded for it this time.
Nope. So he's really the only top player I've seen who does that overhand serve somewhat consistently, but.
I think it's reminiscent. It's the way he played in 2016 with Troy, where he kind of just pushed it into Troy, let Troy bull it out before the defense set it up.
Which Jarrett is also one of the better bowler hitters and is very good with those decisions.
He's got that quick trigger and is a smart hitter, so it makes sense for their offense. Doesn't make it.
He's gonna play it.
Ooh, tough on that left. You see Dylan adjusting the glasses. So some disagreement on the field.
I do not think it was rim. I think it was good.
I thought Jarrett's was good. He said I didn't think. Preston said I didn't think yours was good. Maybe in reference to Dylan, but way too late to call that. And so the call is rim. Again, we disagree with the observers. I mean, honest, they have a better view.
Way better view. And no way am I saying their calls are wrong. That was from my snapshot.
I disagree with them. Yeah.
Good serve. And it is. And
Preston missing another too, and he's pissed. Like, there's no reason for him to do that, and he knows it, but he continues to do it.
And again, what we noticed in Game 2, we did not see Preston have those moments, and they get the win. But Game 1, he has those moments, they get the loss. So
he did one right at the beginning of Game 2, I think.
Maybe like right at the beginning, but in general,
you can't give away free points.
Nope.
You can't do it.
And watch this righty.
Easy up. Weird set.
Weird. Not a great
not
set.
Not a lot on it. It's one of those things where Jared and Preston, some of their sets are questionable. It's good to be quick before the defense can set up, but like maybe just, set normally like everyone else does.
And something as little as maybe like that little thing is why someone like Chiswick Showalter is a little cleaner and has more consistent results.
Because if it puts them in a good position to hit it, the defense isn't going to get it. But if you set it where the defense has a chance, the hitter now has no chance.
Great play by Dylan there. Great play.
Bailing out Peter John's rough touch in that drop. Not even a good drop. Peter John was there. He just looked like he played a little bit too casually off the back of his hand.
It almost looked like he was too much there.
Yeah, he got there early.
A little too early, but 10-8. Great play by Dylan there.
He had to save that lead. Ooh, push, but Dylan's there. Great read. Going backhand just around
Jared.
Great
backhand. 11-8. I don't know if
Wabi Sabi, they need something special to come back. This is a big lead to have.
It's only 11-8. It feels much bigger.
Yeah,
it
the
feels
momentum is
a lot
all
bigger.
With behind the horse. Another good serve. Preston got to put this away. Weird set. Strong left. He's crushing that. So now's the time to make your moves if you're Wabi Sabi. You got to get a break in one of these next two opportunities to stay alive in this series, in this tournament.
9-11.
Going for that righty kick serve stance. Nope. Stepping out. Trying to push that back a little bit onto Peter John's left, but hitting the rim. A good idea, but really, you just got to put him on. Give yourself a chance to play against these guys. You're not acing him with that serve anyway. There you go. Peter John going for the flango. Drop, just slicing it down. That is near net. It stops dead, but instead it goes under the net. So Preston going to try to bring him back into it. Wide stance. Maybe he'll step out and go for the cut. Slows down.
I think that's good. I think Wabi needs to.
Some disagreement on what the score is. So Preston called 10-12, and Dylan said the score was 10-13.
It's not even that. He is upset that Preston's saying 10-2.
And so the side story here is I think in Summer Spike, Dylan got called for only saying second on a lot of his second serves instead of saying the full score. So that's a fresh wound for him. And he's going to use that as much as he can. Wow. And so you can see Preston's not feeling it. This game looks over.
It's game. And you even see Preston being frustrated, and immediately he gets a serve. It's a rim. Yeah. It's the same story. A lot of frustration from Preston.
Another strong serve. Not sure.
14-10.
Must have been a toss fault.
This game. It's a bummer. You saw these in both the games with series versus Wabi Sabi and Peter John versus Dylan, where two very good game 1 and 2s to a game 3 that is out of hand. And I think you often see that when the better team finally shows it.
Yeah, so
Jarrett's right there.
That one, but
Story game 3, they're right there.
Not much you can do. And so it's just body language speaks volumes here. Preston and Jarrett look defeated. Dylan's a little bit antsy, but.
Just missed a drop there, 12-15.
The timeout from Wabi Sabi.
Yeah. I think they needed this a couple points ago. I think it's even a little late, but better had than not had. As we're looking forward to the rest of the season, what are the teams that you like that are rising up? What teams are rising down? What are you thinking from a long-term aspect? Tyler and PJ, obviously the clear number one. That's not changing. But what are these things going into regionals, going to the Chicago Grand Slam that you're seeing from a broad spectrum?
I want to see Hilltop play against Point Loma. I think that's a good matchup. You saw Hilltop slid above them in the PR this month. It was by 0.01 points.
Wow.
So the slimmest of margins there. I think there's a lot of potential there. In that 6-12 range, there's a lot of teams who have beat up on each other. You saw today 7-1-7 beat Subpar. I think there's a lot of action for those teams to move around. Nobody's really shown that they're the clear leader of the pack.
Yep.
And now with Origin Worldwide in the mix, I think it'll be good to see them play.
Another good result from them. Had a pretty easy. I got fourth today. Had a great showing in pool play. Had a pretty easy draw from what I saw. In comparison to the field, but capitalizes, which is big. And the big thing for them is a fourth year in a Grand Slam really propels them to that pro division, which I know their goal is.
And they're not going to play regionals, so they need to rack up as many points.
Really, they're not playing regionals.
I don't think they can play. I think they've got a conflict. So they've got Chicago Grand Slam, maybe Boston. They said if they need the points.
Yep.
But they're going to be looking to get in mostly on the back of these two strong results so far.
Yep.
And I mean, they've looked good. They're making plays. They're looking athletic. Drucker looked a little bit slow at the start of the season, but he's picked it up.
Yep.
And Chris is quick. Chris is fast. He sees the game well, and he's getting a lot of touches on defense. He said they went 48-46 in think game 2 against Dylan and Peter John.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
And PJ's feeling himself now. This is when PJ's at his butter.
Yeah, I mean, this is all
hey, watch out for this. Friendly serve is coming.
Oh, no,
nope. Never mind.
Hey,
another swing and a miss.
Yeah. Maybe should have gone for that.
Another swing and a miss from Vinny. My percentage is right around 24% on predictions.
And with that, you can be a pro sports analyzer.
Honestly, if we're talking about guys in bracketology, it's like 5%.
Yeah, you could be a fantasy football expert.
Oh yeah, because no one goes back and checks.
Gentleman serve from Dylan, and Jarrett's just gonna push it. Nope, Dylan gets a touch. Rough set, but
16,
silliness
19.
here. These players are just about done playing.
Yep.
See if Preston has left in the tank here.
As we are as watching, we've seen a lot of Spike Ball today. It's hot.
I
had to drive back to Columbus, but overarching.
Do you have your car keys?
I have my car keys. That's a big thing.
Yeah,
I lost my car keys last year.
First step to driving home.
Yep. First step. Had to have my mom actually fly down morning of last year at the Nashville tour stop. Never mind. Yep. Almost a break, and they capitalized. But Ezra, I'm excited for the rest of the season, mostly not for what's at top. There's a lot of fun regional matchups.
Are you going to be in Chicago?
Probably not, but maybe.
Okay. Where will we see you? Where will the fans see Vinny Bonta next?
I'm not sure.
You're going to be at Sand Nationals?
That is a hard maybe. I have someone lined up right now to potentially play with.
Say the name. Say the name.
Ooh, do I say the name?
Do you say the name? Just whisper it.
Let's just. Right up.
Back to round net.
And
that'll do it. Championship.
And that's a championship point.
Flying the horse. Second place, Wabi Sabi. Third
Great
place,
series.
Point Loma.
And PJ, once again, is now the first player to win every stop in a regional.
Yeah, he won Atlanta with his partner Tyler Chiswick.
Yep.
He won Dallas with
Skylar
Skylar Bowles. He won Charlotte again with his partner Tyler Chiswick, and now Nashville with Dylan Fogarty.
And
so on the year, that 3, 4, 5 Santa Monica, 6 Madison, 7 Columbus, 8 Summer Spike, 9 Lancaster. 9 pitchers on the year.
9 pitchers on the year.
That's it.
You know PJ wants an undefeated year. He does not want another Boston to happen. But overall, great tournament. Great play from all teams. I loved all the Point Loma and Wabi Sabi series. Those were great games. These were great. Overall, it's loaded field in Nashville, which is what it should be at a Grand Slam. Great attendance throughout. Congrats on your advanced championship, Ezra. And
wrap it just back to women's. Ogres Heroes reclaiming first.
Ogre Heroes does get the win.
After 2 tournament losses, they take first. Second place was Moxie, who came out of the losers bracket and defeated Cougs, who landed in third. So 3 of those top 5 women's teams in action today, but it's Ogres staying on top.
Nashville is like a lot of chalk, a lot of what we expected to see happen. And
especially in advanced.
Yep, and I think you see that a lot in double elimination tournaments. But anyway, we're signing off. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Round net for life. Thanks, Ezra.